Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you had a good lunch, and I'm sure it was not very heavy because the next session that we have is a really interesting session. We have got John, who is Vice President of Innovations at Image Engine. He is also a web performance expert, and he's going to be sharing with us about the probability, or let's say the possibilities that Imagine can bring to mobile optimization. With that, I hand it over to John. Looking forward to a very interesting session.
Thank you very much for that introduction. So yeah, like mentioned in the introduction here, we're going to talk about Image Engine, which is an image CDN made for image optimization, and we're going to talk about that in context of Magento, of course. So I am John. The weird characters in the last name there is because of my Norwegian heritage. I'm based out of Norway. I'm a Norwegian, so never mind pronouncing my name correctly. My name is in international terms John. And I am the vice president of innovation in a company called Sencha Mobile, which has now developed the image engine, image CDN, which we're gonna talk about today. So the frame for this presentation is how to speed up Magento, how to make your website load faster. How to make the product images on category pages or product detail pages load faster while still maintaining the great visual quality that your customers would expect. And at the same time, of course, how to improve the user experience. How your end users, your customers experience to be on your website, and the experience of browsing your products and seeing images and getting to know the products. So as a background, I'm going to talk a little bit about Corvette Vitals and how to measure speed and performance of a website. This is the Corvette Vitals. You might have read about this and heard about this, but it's a rather new initiative from Google, and of course we know how important Google is when it comes to discovery and search. So yeah, it's highly recommended, of course, to follow along and see what Google is doing. And Corvette Vitals is a set of metrics, new metrics that are slightly difficult to measure using Google Analytics or traditional tools that we usually use to measure performance and things like this. But nevertheless, there are a few things that we can do to improve these Corvette Vitals, and just to set some level of urgency here as well. It's the Corvette Vitals, or the performance of Corvette Vitals on any given web page, will be included in as a search engine ranking signal starting from May this year. So it's about time to start focus on the Corvette Vital metrics. We're gonna dive into this a little bit more, just to make sure that we know what the Corvette Vitals means and how we easily can improve the Corvette Vital metrics using Image Engine as the image CDN to load images. So yeah, like I mentioned, it's going to be a ranking signal in Google search starting May 2021, and the chart that we're looking at here is is from HTTP Archive, the Web Almanac. This is numbers collected from real users, real usage on the web, and we see here that Magento scores a little bit lower than we would expect. This chart shows the percentage of e-commerce websites that have a good Corvette Vital experience. And good is a combination of the scores of these three different metrics. The first input delay, cumulative layout shift, and largest contentful paint. We're gonna focus mostly on the largest contentful paint because that's the metric that is considered a low-hanging fruit. This is where image loading comes into place, and this is by far the easiest way to improve the overall Corvette Vitals score. So to illustrate what the the largest contentful paint is, this is a timeline of a page loading. So at the left-hand side, we have the first contentful paint where the first piece of actual content is painted or displayed on the screen of the end user. And then we move to the right, and we see here to the far right, we see where the largest portion of content is shown or painted on the screen of the end user. And this is an image. So in most cases, the largest contentful paint is when the image is shown on the screen of the end user. And that's important to notice. So if we make sure that the images are displayed to the end user as quickly as possible, then we also score better on the largest contentful paint. And imagine if this is obviously a news site, CNN, but imagine if this is a e-commerce site running Magento, of course, and we have maybe a product details page, or even a category page showing multiple different products. We need to make sure that the images that we show are loading as quickly as possible. And diving into Magento and the largest contentful paint experience a little bit more. Again, these numbers are real, collected by HTTP Archives and the Crux report. There's a link at the bottom here if you're interested in the details. So Google has this target of 2.5 seconds. So the largest contentful paint, basically the image that we just saw, should be displayed to the end user within 2.5 seconds. Then it's classified as good, and will have a positive search engine ranking signal. And if we look at the chart here, we see that Magento is performing mediocre compared to other e-commerce platforms. So if we flip these numbers, we see that Magento is considered too slow for mobile in 72% of the cases, and for desktops 61% of the cases, which means that it takes longer than 2.5 seconds to show the product image or any image on the website which would represent the largest contentful paint. And that's interesting. And this is a piece of this is where we need to focus our efforts going forward. And also, just to emphasize this, I'm sure you're very much aware of this, but the loading time, regardless how we measure the loading time, whether it's by larger contentful paint or DOM content loaded or whatever metric we use, we know that a faster loading web page will make sure that we basically make more money. There are tons of studies on the web, like demonstrating numbers like this, but it's very interesting to see the effect of, just like in Amazon's case here, you know, just 100 milliseconds faster means 1% increased revenue. Obviously, we're not Amazon, all of us, but it demonstrates that it has that every millisecond basically counts. Same with Staples, you know, 1 second faster page load time, 10% increased conversions. And Yelp reducing the first contentful paint by 75th percentile by 45%, and so on. We see that it has a very positive impact. I already mentioned the off-site impact, basically, you know, SEO and discovery of content. Search engine visibility. I mentioned the Corvette Vitals as ranking signals starting May 2021, and it's also important to think about image search, which is increasingly important for e-commerce. Searching for products, people tend to not only use the Google index, you know, the regular web search, but increasingly also the image search to search for products. And when images are optimized, sized correctly, and they're not too heavy, but still have a great visual quality, and you use sort of the next generation image formats like WebP and AVIF, and not so much the you know, the PNG and optimized JPEGs and so on. Images will also be better optimized for image search on Google and on any other search engine, of course. So now that we have set the scene, now that we know that Corvette Vitals and especially largest contentful paint are important metrics to follow, both in terms of search engine optimization, but also user experience, of course. Then we're going to see how Image Engine will speed up your Magento site. And to illustrate what Image Engine really does here is we're going to have a look at this chart, which basically says or illustrates the load time of a website. So the current state, depending on which source we're looking at, but let's say we have an average loading time of a website on a mobile device of 9 seconds. Sounds a little bit much, but it's not uncommon to have that kind of loading time, especially because the mobile networks are you know, flaky. Sometimes the connection is not that good, and the devices themselves are also not that powerful. So 9 seconds is, according to the sources listed there, a good average to think of. But then also, you know, a user expects the site to load much faster, of course, than the 9 seconds. So at least 5 seconds. There, you know, some studies shows 3 seconds before the user starts to lose interest and lose attention. But let's say it's 5 seconds for now, and then Image Engine will make sure, or will do its best by optimizing the images and move the load time from 9 seconds and down as far as it goes. Of course, there might be different, you know, other things in addition to images, of course, that should be addressed on any on the specific web page, but Image Engine will definitely make sure that images are fully optimized. So this is really the purpose and the effect of Image Engine. So yeah, when do you know when to use an image CDN? Yeah, your website might be slow, and you have a large number of images, and you publish images on a regular basis, so you need some sort of automation. And yeah, you have global traffic, which means that you need a CDN, and you have a significant portion of mobile users, and this is also where Image Engine really shines, where Image Engine will focus especially on mobile devices and optimize. So this is how Image Engine works at a very high level. Image Engine will, or the mobile device will first request an image from the Image Engine CDN. On the very first request, there will be a cache miss, of course, and then we go all the way back to the origin, which is the Magento site, before it's fetched onto the CDN. So you don't have to upload images anywhere. Image Engine will fetch the images from the location that they are currently. And then Image Engine will do its magic based on the device type and browser and network connection and things. It will optimize and compress and resize, if necessary, the image before it's served back to the device. And then once it's optimized, it will be, of course, served from the edge servers of the CDN. Just yeah, slide showing how much Image Engine can reduce the payload. We do support all these different formats. Even animated GIFs will be transformed to MP4. So it will actually be a video for supporting devices. Typically iOS devices and Mac OS browsers, Safari like this, would support MP4 video. So we're gonna now also look quickly how to get started with Image Engine. This is a video showing how to sign up. Image Engine IO is the website. So you basically put in your website URL there, and here you create the Image Engine account. Now we're selecting the origin of the images here, and that's it. You'll get an Image Engine delivery address like this, which you would have to replace the host name that serves your images currently. We'll have a look at on how to do that as well. Of course, there's a control panel where you can log in and see the Image Engine delivery address. Of course, there are a lot of settings you can tweak and tune, and cache purging and all this. So it's a fully fledged CDN, and you get all the bells and whistles you would expect from any CDN. So now that we have our Image Engine account, we signed up on Image Engine IO. We're gonna have a quick look last couple of minutes here on how to install Image Engine. There are two options. First, we can do this through a configuration option, basically. So yeah, we go to the stores and click configuration. And then in the web section there, we're going to change our base URLs, both the base URLs and base URL secure, as we see here. And then what we need to do there is to basically put in the Image Engine delivery address down here, which makes sure that images are then served from the newly created Image Engine account. And then that's really all it is to it. You might have to flush some cache and things to propagate the change across your Magento installation, but that's really all it is to it. And then Image Engine will start fetching images from the origin. We do also offer a plugin which is available on the Magento marketplace. This can be installed using Composer, if you're familiar with that, which is by far the easiest way to do it if you're capable of doing that. It's also possible to install from the marketplace. Like I said, you can search for Image Engine or Image CDN on the marketplace. And how to install that from there, we go to System and Web Wizard Setup. And then onto the extension manager. You probably all know this, so I'm going to go quickly through it. Yeah, we hit the refresh button to make sure that we that all the modules are listed, and we see the module name Sentimobile/Magento 2 module IO, and then we hit install on this, and then we might want to check and verify that the module is actually enabled in the module manager. Yeah, next thing, how to configure the plugin. This is basically as simple as the configuration option. We go to stores, configuration, and then in the left-hand submenu there we see Sentimobile and image optimization by image engine. And this is also where we input the image engine delivery address here in step 1. You'll find the delivery address during the sign-up process that we just saw, or inside the control panel of image engine. This is also where we enable or disable the module. So now we're starting to run out of time. Just a quick case study of one of our customers, livespace.com. They enabled image engine on their site, and it had an immediate effect on almost all metrics that we were tracking. So the image payload, the bytes generated by images, were 89% smaller compared to what they had, and such a reduction in payload, the amount of data the user has to download, had a direct effect on the page load time. So we went down from 13 seconds on a mobile device to 6.3 seconds load time, which is a dramatic improvement. And looking at the sort of the business metrics, the revenue increase, 2 times higher revenue, and especially also looking at the mobile revenue, 7% increase in share of revenue from mobile visitors is also very, very interesting, knowing that mobile is such a huge part of e-commerce these days. Search engine rankings, tremendous increase, and in general, talking about user experience, 20% bounce rate reduction, which indicates that users are more happy browsing and surfing the web page, and they spent twice as much time on the web page surfing and browsing for products. So these numbers are really, really impressive. And that was it. ImageEngine.io is the place that you can go to have a look. And I am now open for questions, if there are any.
Yeah, thank you, Jhon. That was quite a enlightening session, wherein this tool certainly would help add a lot of value to the e-commerce merchants, and this is certainly something that the merchant should explore. Having said that, I didn't find any questions being raised, so I think it was a great session. What I'll request the audience is that if they have any more doubt or any more clarification, they can certainly reach out to you via LinkedIn or via ImageEngine.io, and they can certainly get their free account, which certainly they should try.
Yes, that's right. So it's a free trial, no strings attached. You can sign up and you get your Image Engine account, and you can try it on on Magento, even in a development environment or something, just to kick the tires of Image Engine.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for your enlightening session. You have a good day.
Thank you very much. Have a good day as well.
Yeah, sure. Bye-bye.
Bye.